Good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone doing? We have a very exciting. Yeah, sorry, I was hammering away on my keyboard. We have a very exciting match for you today. This is for those of you who were here yesterday. Mike is quiet. Am I quiet for everybody? I think Swap is going to be handling all the sound stuff before he kicks off. Much better, great. So, for those of you who were here yesterday, we had Kishmo versus Maisgueuh in two extremely exciting matches. Kishmo taking game one, Maisgueuh taking game two. This will be a deciding match 3 for our top runners here. It is Kishmo versus Maisgueuh. And on the bottom, we have a matchup that a lot of people have been waiting for. This is CanadianOwl versus azder. This is the Elite 8 in the winner's bracket. The winner of this match will head on to the final 4 of the winner's bracket. So these matches mean a lot. This is all 4 of our runners are incredible. And so Kishmo versus Maisgueuh, CanadianOwl versus azder. This is going to be a really hype match. We've got Pete on tracking, Swap Space. Our lovely Swap is doing the restreaming today, and I will be your commentary. Super hype about this one. We haven't had a 4-way in a while, actually, given this tournament is calming down a little bit. We only have 19 runners left in the tournament. We started with 88, so we are coming down to the final moments of this tournament, and each match for here on out is just going to be super awesome. I believe we have dropped the gate, and everything is going to be getting started here very soon. And again, I'm super excited about this one. I hope you guys are too. I'm happy to be here to watch match 3, at least for Kishmo and Maisgueuh. These two runners have battled it out back and forth over the last few days. And our left 2 runners are off. So our runners are going to make their way down the parlor into the climb, down into the construction zone to find their first item. It's going to be at the morph ball location. And this morph ball location has the potential to have 1 of 4 different items. If it's not morph ball, then it's going to be 1 of 3 items. It's going to be ice beam, space jump, or high jump boots. The reason for that is the logic. If the morph ball is placed in the ceiling, we need 1 item to be able to pick it up. So it looks like our left 2 runners are completely synced, and our right 2 runners are completely synced. That's really interesting. But we had Moonfall there by Maisgueuh, and it's going to be the ice beam. So we're going to start off here with the ice beam. That gives us logical access by freezing the creature to jump up to the missile. Or excuse me, the E-Tank location. So, starting off with an ice beam. Ice beam starts are pretty cool. Now we don't have to worry about our access through to Bot's Wound. And oh no, CanadianOwl freezes a little bit too soon there. Yeah. So and a charge beam. Wow, that's very interesting. This is going to force our runners to pay attention to kind of the ammo that they want to be picking up, because you don't want to pick up too few ammo packs. But yeah, that's a very interesting thing that we're gonna have to keep a lookout on to see which runners skip items and which ones don't. It's possible we might be able to. I'm trying to think out. Let me try this. The Maisgueuh's gonna go down for just a moment here. Actually, that might mess up this crop. There's a way where I can actually reset to where it's basically on point. Here, let's just do it. We'll do it while it's still in the early goings. Here we go. Wish me luck, everyone, as I break everything. Boom. Maisgueuh's down. Maisgueuh's gonna come back, hopefully synced. You ready? Here it comes. You guys ready for the sync? And Kishmo's using some behemoth climb to come up the climb here. Oh, no sync. Rip. So, and CanadianOwl is just a little bit behind Kishmo, and azder is just right there on top of CanadianOwl. So lots of runners here doing different methods of climbing up this climb here. We got 2 simultaneous wall climbs. So Kishmo, the only one to throw out the behemoth climb. I know Maisgueuh does the climb as well. Excuse me, the wall jumps on the side there. Kishmo is making really good time. Of course, the azder's timer and Maisgueuh's timer are 20 seconds behind. And CanadianOwl's timer has nothing there. So azder going to make their way down into Bomb Treezo as well, which is where our first power bomb pack was. It's typically how these seeds tend to work. If we don't find power bombs in the lower parts in the early goings, we're going to find a power bomb. At Bomb Treezo here. We got 3 simultaneous power bomb pickups as Kishmo's heading to 230 missiles. And it's another power bomb. That's really, really nice, especially for Pink Brinstar cleanup. We're not going to have to farm for a power bomb. Having 5 power bombs moving into Pink Brinstar can be kind of a pain. Another thing this is going to allow our runners to do is actually go to Gauntlet. So we'll see which runners elect to make that play. It looks like CanadianOwl is also going to go down to 230, as well as azder, as well as Maisgueuh. Kishmo's heading out and is going to head down into Terminator, most likely skipping the first item but checking the back of Gauntlet. And it's a missile pack, so no super missiles yet. We're going to do our very first sequence break. Kishmo will be the first to show that off after we check the back of Gauntlet here. For those of you who are learning this game, I highly recommend making a Gauntlet check. This is out of logic for our runners as of now, but oh my gosh, that was a gravity suit. So Kishmo is most definitely going to go for that. But the problem with this is that Maisgueuh elected to go straight for it immediately. So Maisgueuh is going to have some time saved there, as Kishmo is gonna have to come back. And actually, CanadianOwl went down to Mother Brain. That's a run. Excuse me. That's a play that some runners like to make, as we see in chat. Am I the only one that does MB check as well as after 230s? Personally, it's kind of like a feel for me. Sometimes I do it, but I think most of the time I don't. I would rather route Billy Mays and Left of Construction Zone up through to Mother Brain, but again, it's all about plays and what you feel comfortable with. So here we go. Kishmo gonna make their way into the Gauntlet, and Maisgueuh is already heading through about halfway. As azder, did azder check the back of Gauntlet? This is a play that I was talking about. It's a logic break by azder here. Speed booster is required to check this item. And this is a very interesting play by azder here, because if our runners run into Varia, they will not have to go back up until leaving for Torian to go to, leaving to go in to kill Fantuna and then bouncing. So we'll see what azder elects to do after this. But Canadian gonna take a save here and also head over. Maisgueuh is gonna be the first to pick up gravity here. Very nice, and we have a space jump. This is actually important to note. This gravity suit being here means that screw attack can be nowhere in Meridia, and it's also going to mean that a lot of the movement items, speed booster, space jump, or bombs, are going to be early. And so the one that was put into logic for early was space jump. So now we have our up logic, and so screw attack needs to be somewhere close by. Up logic is speed booster, bombs, or space jump. So Gauntlet is separated into 2 separate logic pieces. And so you have your up logic and your through logic. So through logic being screw attack, up logic being speed, space, or bombs. Sorry. I didn't know if it was a legit question, and I didn't want to make fun of your question. Maisgueuh going to be moving into early super location. Again, one thing to note, this is also really important, is because Space Jump was fine behind a speed locked location, that means Speed Booster is also going to be pretty early, because we need either Speed Booster or Space Jump to get up to Gauntlet to get up to Gauntlet. And so this is going to mean that we're going to find Speed very soon, and there's Varia. Oh my! And see, this is exactly what I was talking about. They were going to run right into Varia, and now all of our other runners are going to have an absolute advantage by going back and getting that gravity suit. This is going to be a gigantic. That's not the word I'm looking for. This is going to be a very fast seed with Charge, Ice, Gravity, Varia, and Space Jump. Our runners are almost in go mode already. Like, that's incredible. Just need they really are in go mode if they want to do Charge, Ice, Mother Brain. But more supers here can definitely make a difference. But that's incredible. Of course, we're looking at 1 tank, so of course they need at least a combination of 3 to be able to get to Mother Brain. But that's something that you can just look for on your way down. I expect all 3 of our runners to make plays down to Lower Norfair. Hopefully we can get enough supers by then. But as you can see, Azder already has 25, and that's a pretty good number to have if you want to make that play. But again, our 3 runners electing to go back up to get gravity is going to force Azder to have to make that extra trek just to get gravity suit. And there's CanadianOwl picking up his Space Jump. Maisgueuh is going to be picking up their Varia next. Kishmo just barely behind. Again, this is the match 3 between Kishmo and Maisgueuh. The winner of this match will move on, and the loser of this match is eliminated from the tournament. On the bottom, we have an Elite 8 matchup between CanadianOwl and Azder. This is match 1. The winner of this match will move on to the final 4 of the winner's bracket, and the loser will move down to the alternative winner's bracket, and still have an opportunity to make their way back up to the finals match in the winner's bracket. So that's what we're watching right now. So Kishmo is just slightly. Oh, of course, I got to remember the time difference between the timers, which is about 39. Yeah, about 39 seconds. Yeah. So all in all, I see Azder going up here and clearing out Wreck Ship, killing Fantoon, being done with Fantoon, leaving, getting his gravity suit, and then going down. So that's probably the path that Azder's going to take here. Might be thinking picking up gravity first before heading over to Wreck Ship, but also might be considering, 98 health. It's not a lot of health. CanadianOwl moving through Brinstar Hellway as Kishmo picks up yet another super pack that's going to put them at 25 supers. I didn't quite see what was at Wave Gate. And Gravity was at the back of Gauntlet, which is where Azder is heading now. There's Varia suit for Owl. Maisgueuh picks up an extra missile pack. Now, all of our runners have both suits except Azder, who will be getting it very soon. And Kishmo is all of our runners are just looking for a few E-tanks. Just a few E-tanks, and we're only, at that point we were only 9 minutes into the seed, which is incredible. So Kishmo is gonna utilize those 2 suits and is just gonna go ahead and make that skip on X-ray. I see probably most runners making the skip on X-ray. It's a really long check for potentially a low reward. All 4 runners tie world record SMRAT. That'd be great. The world record for SMRAT is 45:25, I think. 45 something. And Kishmo gonna move into Kraid, as azder is gonna be making their way back up to Fantoon. And CanadianOwl will have the decision to go down, probably most likely will. And then also head to Kraid, where Kishmo is heading. Maisgueuh is going to check Spazer here. It's a super pack. They're going to pick that up. Again, they only have charge ice, so want to make sure you have some supers to at least take out Ridley, because I believe it's 300 or 600 shots with charge ice. It's either 300 or 600 or 400. It's a lot of shots, guys, on for charge ice on Ridley. And yeah, literally any beam at this point would be beautiful. It's 200. Okay, that's still 600. Is it 600 without? Excuse me, without ice? I think it's 600, or is it 300? I don't know my counts, guys. Okay, so 300 without. That's a lot of shots. All right, so Maisgueuh is going to be making their way over to Kraid as well, and Kishmo is making their way out. azder is going to check the left of construction. Wait, did azder not go to wreck ship? Very interesting. Gonna head down. It's 500 million without ice. It's a heck of a lot without chalk. CanadianOwl making their way into Kraid. Maisgueuh making their way into Kraid. Kishmo making their way out of Kraid. azder also going to make their way down to Kraid. So you can see the difference that skipping the gravity made. Not too much of a setback, but azder is going to need to make a little bit of a comeback here. We got simultaneous. Excuse me. We had Kishmo doing the Kraid quick kill, Maisgueuh doing the Kraid quick kill, and Canadian is making their way towards Kraid as we speak. Another super pack there for Kishmo. That's nice. And an E-tank. So Maisgueuh is technically in go mode. With that E-tank find, Kishmo must have skipped the Kraid. Must have skipped that Kraid E-tank because he's still at 1 tank. That might be interesting to keep an eye on. And another Kraid quick kill from CanadianOwl. So we're 3 for 3. We just got to leave it up to azder to get the quad Kraid kill. The quad Kraid quick kill. Say that 4 times fast. And Kishmo was the first to check this item down here. Just a missile pack. Still no beams. I'm interested to see what Kishmo does here, but quad Kraid quill. Yeah, azder's execution is top notch. Both azder and Kishmo are some of the best in the world. Oh, and azder, no! Messes up the quad Kraid quill. Gonna have to shoot, I think, 2 supers into, not just, I don't know if that was 1 or 2, but that is my fault. I just had to say something. azder gonna make a good play here to get this E-tank. Still Kishmo sitting at that 1 tank. There's a tank, and that's a power bomb. Definitely gonna skip that. So Kishmo's at 2 tanks, just a tank away. azder's at 2 tank, a tank away. Owl's at 2 tanks, a tank away, and Maisgueuh is sitting at the nice 3 tanks. 3 tanks is definitely not, comfortable, but it's doable. So we'll probably see at least 1 more tank pickup. Maybe not on azder's side, because azder's really, really good. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Owl's timer. I think they just didn't have one. He is timeless. And yeah, this is really close with our top or our corner 3, top left. Well, our top right and our bottom left. Runners are kind of all over the place, but generally going in the right or the same direction. Kishmo's going to head down with those 30 supers. Definitely a good play here. Good power bomb count, going to be able to get in and get out. This is some seriously low health for Kish, but I believe this is normal. Finding that charge beam early on was going to be anyone who doesn't feel comfortable with running with low ammo is going to be a nightmare for them. But all of these runners are skilled in low percent, especially azder. As you can see, making the play down with only 25 supers compared to everyone else's 30 and Maisgueuh's 45. So azder's most definitely comfortable with low ammo. Going to be making their way, and it's just moments behind Owl. This just got super close. We now have a near sync for Owl and azder here. And Maisgueuh and Kishmo here. Looking mighty fine as well. Maisgueuh making their way down into lower Norfair. azder making their way down into Norfair. CanadianOwl taking a save. So azder takes the lead on a save by Owl. And Maisgueuh is just slightly ahead of azder. This is a really, really good race between the 3 runners here on the top right and the bottom 2. Kishmo is still ahead of all 3 of them, heading into the room before Wasteland, Words Are Hard. And also going to be skipping that save as well. It was a very interesting place for save. Had plenty of power bombs. Might be thinking... Yeah, very interesting spot to save. All right, so Maisgueuh, azder, and CanadianOwl all in the worst room in the game, but azder just beautifully maneuvers through and doesn't even get hit. Maisgueuh loses the lead a little bit. azder, with just flawless movement, takes the lead. Without high jump boots, space jump is kind of exactly swap. That's exactly what I was thinking. It had azder, because the moment that he skipped that, I was like, I don't know if they find Varia. If they find Varia, that's going to be a very risky play. And they ended up finding Varia, and it kind of cost azder a little bit of time. Canadian just right behind, though. Going to go with a check Firefly first. And Maisgueuh also heads down. We'll see what Owl finds here. Having space jump is definitely nice, and it's a super pack. Owl's going to pick that up. So again, azder only running with 25 supers, Owl with 35 now. Maisgueuh is making their way into the Wasteland, and Owl's going to be making their way back out of Firefly. But we have Kishmo farming up, only has 13 supers. That is not a good... Oh, and just Kojak's like 3 or 4 of them. This is going to cost Kishmo a ton of time here. Going to give Maisgueuh an opportunity to catch up. Again, these timers are not in sync, of course. Should we hide Kishmo's timer to make us feel better about this? I am gonna crop it down just a little bit though. There we go. All right, so Maisgueuh and azder, they're perfectly synced. I tried to sync on Maisgueuh's side, but I think I'm not exactly sure. Usually it works. Usually it's just a And Kishmo going to continue to farm here. Again, Maisgueuh is going to be able to take the lead here, but they both have very limited supers. We got 3 people farming for supers right now before Ridley. This is, I don't think I've ever seen something like this before. And Owl's just doing Owl, checking the items that the other runners skipped. But we got 3, and all different methods of farming too. Azder doing the typical jump, freeze. Kishmo is, well, Maisgueuh and Kishmo are doing the same strat here. But okay, so Kishmo's at 30 supers now. And here we go. Got 2 simultaneous crades. I just said crade. Ridley, excuse me. We're going to see some manipulation here. Very good setup there by Azder, as well as Kish. Very good setup. Canadian Owl's now just a room away from Maisgueuh. Maisgueuh is at 26. And Supers is going to probably get up to about 30 and make their way in. Oh, and Azder goes for a double powerbomb hit there. I believe they got it. It was very nice. Kishmo going to finish off with the rest of the supers here. Very good Ridley manipulation. Owl sitting at 23 supers. Maisgueuh is going to farm up just a little bit more above 30 here at 32. It's going to give Kishmo that much more of an edge. And now they head in. We're going to have 4. Excuse me, Canadian still has to farm a little bit, but these are all Ridley fights, or just near Ridley fights. This is a very exciting match we have going on here right now. It's going to come down, because all of our runners are in go mode, minus an E-tank for at least 2 of our runners, and that is a dead Ridley for both Kishmo and Azder. And it's high jump boots behind Ridley. Both Kishmo and Azder checked that. I'm curious what Maisgueuh and Owl decide to do. And Ridley also down on Maisgueuh's side. Owl's still farming up some supers here. But high jump boots is a fantastic item to have. It's going to allow our runners to move much more fluidly with space. Oh, I thought Maisgueuh was gonna skip that. Oh my gosh, did you see that? He hit it and then he jumped. Looked like he was gonna jump to the door. I was like, what? All right, but he didn't. He got it. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is Kishmo versus Maisgueuh on the top. It's a match 3. The winner of this match moves on, and the loser of this match will be eliminated from the tournament. On the bottom, we have Canadian Owl versus Azder. This is an Elite 8 winners match. The winner of this match will go on to the Final 4. Rather, the winner of the series. This is match 1. The winner of the series will go on to the Final 4, and the loser will head down to the alternative winners bracket and fight for their chance to come back up. And ooh, Owl! Oh my gosh, is it 59? Owl, please. Wow, that grab. Are you kidding me? Wow. That was clutch. These runners, it's not going to give them a lot of help to work with, but that was definitely better than a death. Absolutely. Owl's going to make their way out. It cost them quite a bit of time, but Azder's also going to check fire fleet location here. This is something Owl has already done. And Maisgueuh and Kishmo are near synced here. Coming out of the Lower Norfair escape. And Azder's just moments behind them. But Kishmo is going to check fire fleet. That's going to give Maisgueuh an opportunity to just kind of take a little bit of lead here. Going to check the item to the left of jail. It's just a missile pack. Our runners are really hoping for a plasma beam or a wave beam. Any beam, really, for that matter. Even Spazer would be nice at this point. Canadian Owl making their way out of Lower Norfair as well. Oh, and there's plasma. Oh, and Azder's going to skip over it. Takes a body hit, can only take 2 more hits. That's a huge find for Maisgueuh. Let's see what Kishmo elects to do here. Our other runners might elect to skip that as well. Maisgueuh's going to go ahead and use that to his advantage and go ahead and kill these key hunters because they do a lot of damage. We're talking 50, a half an E-tank of damage. Oh, and Kishmo's going to check it too. The suits, Gravity at the back of Gravity at the back of Gauntlet, and Varia at Edekun's. They were in go mode, minus a single E-tank at 8 minutes in. It was insane. Okay, so we have our top 2 runners grabbing Plasma, and azder skips it, so we'll see what Owl does. This isn't linked to the past. We'll see what Owl does here, because this could be the edge that Owl can... Because just to point out, this is now microwave potential for top 2 runners. And CanadianOwl could also have that potential as well, and that could be a huge time save over azder here if Owl picks up this Plasma Beam. So we'll see what Owl does here. But azder already out. Gonna check this item here. Just a missile pack. Gonna jump over it. Looks like they're gonna skip checking high jump. Oh, yes, that is a good point. Owl is the only one who has X-ray. Where was X-ray exactly? I forget. PBs of shame. Nice. All right, Owl, what are you going to do? They were making checks, so I don't see why they would skip this one, and they get it. Very nice. All right, so that's going to be huge for Owl there, being able to utilize the microwave on Botswoon, on Phantoon, on Dragon. There's a lot of bosses left, a lot of uses and versatility. Okay, Owl needs to be careful here. Owl, please. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm not sure how much they had in their reserves, but that was looking to be about very scary. All right, Maisgueuh heading up into Meridia. Kishmo just seconds behind them. azder already in Meridia, going to be heading over to Dragon first. Going to check out Botswoon. This is going to be disgustingly fast. We are going to be finishing very soon. So let's take a look and see how our runners progress through the Meridia movement here. azder's pulling off the ice clip, gets it very nicely done. Kishmo heading on through, as Maisgueuh is going to be making their way into the aqueduct, and Owl is still a little bit behind because of the unfortunate Ridley fight, and High Jump Boots was behind Ridley. High Jump Boots were behind Ridley. And azder in the Botswoon fight. Does not have the best start. Gonna have to resort to some charge ice shots. This is gonna give Owl an opportunity to catch up. Again, with having that ability to do microwave, it's going to give Owl a really good opportunity to catch up here. Maisgueuh moving into the fight as well. They have Plasma, so this is going to be a much faster fight for them as well. We got 2 runners in Botswoon. Kishmo doing the ice clip. What's really funny is they also had a very hard time with the ice clip in the last match. They had to de-equip their gravity suit, which they've just done here. And as you can see, Maisgueuh, with the use of the Plasma Beam, is able to just bypass azder. But this is a very close race, just moments ahead of azder now as Kishmo moves in to fight their Botswoon. And something to note here is azder's ammo is pretty poor. They're going to have to farm a little bit if they want to have an okay Dragon fight. Whereas on Maisgueuh's side, they have Plasma Charge, which is going to be super fast. And yeah, so that grapple beam, location, runners are forced to pick that up. But I don't see azder skipping that in a situation like this. Gonna be able to use that on Dragon. That's gonna be super fast. That actually mitigates Canadian's ability to do the X-ray kill on Dragon just by a little bit. That might be the deciding factor in this race. Finding that grapple beam there. We'll keep a lookout. Canadian Owl gonna go ahead and use the X-ray. Boom, done. That was 10 times faster than azder's. Already gonna be moving on through. Huge time save there as Kishmo checks the Dragon missiles. Maisgueuh in the Dragon fight, azder in the Dragon fight, Kishmo in the Dragon fight. Canadian Owl might even elect to skip the grapple beam. There's really no reason to pick it up for him personally. Has the ability to do an X-ray kill. Kishmo and Maisgueuh. There's so much Dragon happening on screen right now. This is going to be a super tight finish for all of our runners, and I'm all ready for it. We got the one thing that's going to be very clear here is Canadian Owl is going to be able to have a one-round Fantoon, just missile, and then X-ray. It's just going to be beautiful for Owl with the ability to do the X-ray or the microwave. Having that X-ray definitely is huge here. azder takes out Dragon. Kishmo gets grabbed. And Maisgueuh checking the Dragon missiles as well as they move out. azder's going to skip space jump here. With how Owl has been playing, I'm curious if they'll check space jump. But now Kishmo takes out Dragon as well. We have both runners. One was in the Coliseum. azder's in the Coliseum. Maisgueuh making their way out of the pre-Coliseum room there in the Botswoon E-Tank room. azder moves out of the Coliseum as Canadian Owl is setting up for the microwave kill. Here it comes. And that's a dead Dragon. See how much quicker that is. It's very, very, very fast. What are our runners thinking right now? They're 34 minutes in. They're heading to Fantoon, final boss. All of our runners now heading to Fantoon. Kishmo just slightly behind our two runners on the right, and Owl just slightly behind Kishmo. Maisgueuh actually goes for the reverse ice clip. Very interesting choice. Actually, azder takes the lead there just slightly. Owl's moving into the Botswoon E-Tank room as well. Kishmo moved out of Botswoon E-Tank room, going to be heading into the Aqueduct. We'll see what methods. It's going to look probably like maybe a combination. azder will most likely be doing Dopplers. Our top runners might be electing to do some charged plasma shots. And Canadian Owl, of course, is going to do a microwave. So we got a lot of different methods that are available to our runners. And Kishmo is checking left side sandpit items. Very interesting. Not a bad decision. It could have been wave or speed, which would have been pretty useful at this point. The important thing to remember, though, is if you think about the logic, space jump was hidden behind a speed locked location. You needed space jump or bombs to get to Gauntlet or speed. So if space jump is locked behind speed, that removes space jump. And we don't know where speed is. So it's very possible that speed booster is nowhere in Meridia. Probably somewhere in Rex ship. All right, so our azder and Maisgueuh just perfect syncs. This is just beautiful. Plasma was at Franker's Z room, and we have simultaneous entrances into the Fantoon fight. Kishmo making their way out of Meridia Escape, And Owl is going to head on through. Gives a little shot towards the Spazer item there. But here we go. That's a same pattern there for both of our runners. Very nice setup by azder there. And Canadian Owl entering into Rex ship. Kishmo just moments behind. This is just a fantastic, like all four of our runners. It's just beautiful how close everyone is. Owl going to be moving into the Fantoon fight as Kishmo is going to be skipping the ocean on him, at least for now. That was a good shot there by Maisgueuh. It's looking like just another shot, excuse me, for azder. There it was. And here's one more shot for Maisgueuh as well. And that, oh no, might be just a single missile short here. And that's going to give azder the lead, pretty significant lead here. And we're getting a slow pattern from Fantoon here. And that's a dead Fantoon. Something really important to note here is Owl just killed Fantoon. Boom, done. And really brought this really close to azder. It only has 2 tanks, though. This top race is super tight. This bottom race is super tight. Maisgueuh heading out of the Fantoon fight, going to be heading down to Torian as azder's heading to Torian. Canadian's heading to Torian. Kishmo in the fight, going to be setting up for some Dopplers here. And of course, azder's going to pick up that Spazer beam. This is something Owl doesn't have to do, so that's 7 seconds to Owl here to catch up a little bit. This is going to come down to just pure movement from here on out. Canadian Owl has what it takes to catch up here. Kishmo having a Owl. Yes, yeah, the delay. Owl could very well be ahead right now. But if I'm not mistaken, Owl can't even take a hit, like at all, because that's a pure 300. Or am I doing math wrong here? Yeah, he has a reserve tank, but you need at least, you need 399. Aha, yes. Yes. Or he has 399 with reserve. Right, okay. Yeah, I know the damage is that everything does. I just didn't know if it was... It's just very tight. Yeah, no, 301 to survive, absolutely. But I see now... I'm just counting wrong. Because you have 100 to start out, or 99 to start out. So 2 tanks, that's 300. Reserve, that's 400. Well, 399. So I was just mathing wrong. Maisgueuh heading into Torian as azder is in Metroid Room 1, using that ice beam to their advantage. Kishmo's heading out. So Canadian Owl is probably, let's see, we'll add 25 seconds. So let's see, 41:45 to azder's entrance to coming out. And we'll see, because Owl is 25 seconds behind azder on timer. So 41:45 entrance for azder, and we'll see what. Ooh, Kishmo finds a tank. Very nice. Yeah, see, Kishmo doesn't have a reserve tank, so Kishmo actually was required to find that E-tank. And 42.20. So that's about 45 seconds behind, roughly. Owl is about 45 seconds behind. So still anyone's game. And but Maisgueuh and azder are perfect sync. Kishmo and Owl are perfect sync. Maisgueuh and azder are perfect sync. But unfortunately, they're two separate races. All right, here we go. Two simultaneous babies. One baby finished and refill happened. Going to head on into Mother Brain. Kishmo again's lagging behind here. This is going to be a fantastic finish that we have ahead of us. All three runners. Canadian has made quite the comeback overall, though. azder choosing not to save. This is a very, very, very costly, potentially costly decision here. So we'll wish them some good luck that they don't get catch-upped. But here we go. They have 69 health to work with. Whew, here we go. And Canadian Owl is also skipping the save. 69 health to work with. Maisgueuh setting up for Ice Clip, misses the Zeb skip. Gonna set it up again. Owl gets the Zeb skip. Maisgueuh gets the Zeb skip. Kishmo heading into Turian. Ooh. Ooh, all the onion rings coming at him hard. So now azder has to work with charge shots here, getting just all of the ketchup, all of the rings, all of the fries. And azder's going to need a ton of shots here. Owl could actually make back the 40 seconds that they're behind. This comes down to that plasma shot. So many onion rings coming at azder, though. Doing a really good job of skipping, and Owl needs to also be pretty careful here. Only has 24. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, no! That honestly, Owl could have won that match. Owl could have won this. With that plasma beam could have definitely made the difference. That's an unfortunate hit. Canadian Owl has officially forfeited from the race. But dang, that was super, 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 super tight finish there. But here we go. We got Kishmo going for the baby skip. And azder takes out Mother Brain 2. Going to be heading into Mother Brain 3. And Maisgueuh also heading into Mother Brain 1 here. Going to be quick with the acquisition of plasma. Kishmo also going to be heading into Mother Brain. Just look at these. These are beautiful. Everyone doing. Again, this is not free for Maisgueuh here. He needs to be very careful, but gets it. There we go. Going to be moving into Mother Brain 3 as Kishmo is going to be heading into Mother Brain 1. This is a tight match. Again, Kishmo is about 40 seconds behind Maisgueuh. So this is going to be a tight race. Okay, azder going to be finishing off Mother Brain with some some rainbow shots here. Kishmo still working on Mother Brain 2, as Maisgueuh is about ready to head into Mother Brain 3. This is a very close match between Maisgueuh and azder, but azder is going to be taking this win against Owl, and they will be doing their second match directly following this one. Depending on what happens up top, it's looking like Maisgueuh is going to be taking this match if all goes well, and Maisgueuh will be heading on, and this will be, if all continues the way it is, Kishmo's final match in the 2019 Super Metroid Accessible Randomizer Tournament. So let's get our GGs ready for azder here, who has to take the long way around without having speed. And there goes the baby on Maisgueuh's side. And Maisgueuh's going to finish off with some plasma shots. Some rainbow shots. And be just moments behind azder here. Yeah, it was a tough Mother Brain there for Owl. Almost had it. Potentially could have made this just seconds apart from each other. Took a too few mini hits, and unfortunately wasn't able to continue. Owl died at Mother Brain, unfortunately. And here we go, azder. Get your GGs ready, everybody, with an official SRL time. 49 minutes and 14 seconds. azder has officially finished in first place, taking game 1 against against Owl, and is 1 win away from the final 4 of this winner's bracket. We still got one more hype match up top. Again, the winner won against himself. The winner of this top match will be the winner of the series. So it's looking like Maisgueuh is going to be taking this one as well. So let's get a second round of GGs ready, and potentially a third round of GGs as Kishmo is heading out into the escape. Maisgueuh's in the parlor, going to be heading up to the ship. Just a fantastic race. Kishmo had to, search for that extra E-tank. If Kishmo would have done maybe some fewer checks, could have been completely different. But there it is, with an official SRL time of 50 minutes and 27 seconds. Maisgueuh has finished in, first place against Kishmo, second place of the 4 runners, and we'll be moving on in the tournament. And unfortunately, this will be Kishmo's final game. Kishmo has had a fantastic run in this tournament. It was a pleasure having them join, so we wish them all the best. Who dat?
Wow. It was crazy, man.
Oh, is this Maisgueuh?
And Mushka, I was so tight. I knew it.
What's up? How's it going?
Looking the Chan while I was on MB3 and see someone finishing before me. So much stress.
Yeah, this was just an absolutely baller race. And Mr. Kishmo finishes in third place, second place in the match, third place overall runners with a 51.45. So really just mere minutes separated all 3 of these runners, and it would have been like a 10-second finish between azder and Owl. And Kish having those extra few checks. Whew, man, this was a race for sure. But we're actually joined by Maisgueuh and azder as well. So hello to you guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thoughts about that one?
I'm not that happy with how I handled that seed. It was like essentially go mode 8 minutes in, but when you're in that kind of position, it really starts to matter how well you balance your checks for your nice to haves, like ammo and movement items. I could have gone through straight with nothing and only trying to grab 2 E-tanks, but I think the decisions I made on which checks to do and which checks not to do were not that great.
Yeah, that plasma beam at Franker Z, the Three Musketeers, that check by Owl just made a huge difference, and also picking up X-ray really caught up to you super quick by being able to X-ray Botswoon, X-ray Dragon, and X-ray Fantoon. Just made a huge difference.
So much time on a Botswoon. That was really
bad.
and not to mention your Botswoon fight was very unfortunate as well. So your Botswoon fight and his ability to just go in and slaughter Botswoon really kept this match just mere seconds away from each other. But of course, Al taking the unfortunate death. And you were still ahead, just barely. We weren't for sure how it would have ended off, because with Plasma Beam for Mother Brain, your Spazer, it just we don't know for sure, but it would have been super fast or super tight. And Maisgueuh, I'm sorry, you said something?
Yeah, I was talking about the X-ray. It was a mistake to don't take it finally. Skip it. I should not. I had hesitation on it, and okay, skip it. Bah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So.
So I was asking in the chat if it was possible for Al and I to do game 2 now.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. That would take maybe some burden off of me for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, let's do it. Did Al want to come in, or should we just set this match 2 up? Al, you still out there?
I don't think he tends to talk much.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and set up match 2. I know Kish never does interviews, so we're safe there. Okay, so we're going to shut down the stream, and we're going to bring it right back up with game 2. Who out there on the SRA staff can roll a seed and send it over to our runners here while I get things set up? GG azder on game 1 win. Good luck for game 2. Al, good luck for game 2 as well. I don't think I've ever seen a seed go mode in 8 minutes. That was just nuts. Don't forget.
It wasn't a very go mode, but it was.
Right, it was the suckiest of go modes, because you needed to get. You really having charge as one of the very first items is so. It's tough because you really got to balance, your minor pickups if you don't find beams, and so. It was.
I hate early charge, dude. It's one of the opinions I get crap for, but I hate it so much.
Yeah, I really do as well, because I feel really bad finding charge and still picking up a ton of miners.
I was worried all along of Steve, because I know Kishu has a better execution compared to me. So for me, it was like, oh no, I can't win that. He's better than me, so he's gonna rush the game faster than me. Wow. Cross. So yeah. Good luck for your match, for the second game, as.
Thank you.
And see you next mission, guys.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna end the stream here. We're gonna get open up a new room, and so yeah, good luck.
Thank you.